Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, April the 14th, almost halfway through the month. Welcome to our Leadership Development Call. My name is Miriam Kareem. So happy to have everybody here so that we can learn to grow our businesses from our amazing coaching entourage. Today, up we have Coach Seymour Greenish Blake. Amazing, always impactful teaching from him. But first, I have a quick trip to the newbie corner. So, one thing that I've noticed in my journey, I would say, last 47 days, it's been 47 days that I've just been super intense on building my business. And one thing is I see that as you talk to more people, you're going to become more proficient in your skills, trusting yourself more in your capability to execute in real time and handling objections, handling different types of people, different, your four color personalities, your different people, your different backgrounds, your different situations. You'll trust yourself more as you deal with more people and talk to more people, and you'll kind of know then where to categorize them as they come so that you don't feel like every time you get excuse me, every time you get a a new prospect, you got to go run to your coach, or you got to run to a AI helper to help you navigate through that conversation to sift and sort and see where they belong, if they are ready or if they're not at high noon yet, or if they're just dabbling and looking. But the people will eventually fall in those categories once you learn what they are, and as you become more familiar with them, as your skills develop. So just keep at it. My message today is just keep at it. Don't give up. Keep being consistent. It may seem boring. Today it was just I was having a ball today. Just the things that I was doing. I'm enjoying it. And that's when the more you enjoy something that you say that you love doing, the more you're going to have success with it. So that being said, I'd like to introduce you all to our teacher tonight, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake. He is an amazing six-figure earner, multiple six-figure earner in the network marketing world, a six-figure earner at our Green Organics company at Heart and Body Naturals. An amazing teacher, always has very impactful information. Last week was amazing, you guys. If you weren't on the call last week, you missed something. You really missed something. So get that replay. But I'm sure he's going to bring the fire today as well. So, Coach Seymour Greenish Blake, are you available, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am available. Thank you for that warm introduction.
You're welcome.
Uh, I'm gonna have to check my cameras and make sure that I don't have anybody hacking into my cameras, because it just seems like every week, like our communication is just twine right into what we talk about. So, did you have my cameras hacked, Marion?
No, I
So with
don't.
that, like Miriam say, the great information she just brought, and that information she brought going kind of entwine with what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Um, and I'm telling you guys, we get on this call daily. You have coaches on these calls daily. We have people show up on this call daily. The question is, are you taking the information that you're being given every single day, Sunday through Thursday, and using it? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Coming on the calls, great. Getting information, great. But are you applying what you're being taught? That's something that you keep on your mind as I go through what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and go off camera and get this information. And today is going to be a little bit different, because normally I talk about self-empowerment and building ourselves up to be where we want to be in life. But today is going to be a little bit different. Today, I'm going to get into what you guys need to be doing to get your business to go to the next level. Okay. So today's title is this: use the information and education and teaching that you receive daily by the coaches to build a successful network marketing business. Let me say that again because I want this to really get to you today. Use the education and the teaching that you receive daily, not weekly, not monthly, but daily by the coaches to build a successful network marketing business. And I'm going to take this a little bit deeper now. And I want you to settle into this mentally the same way that you would if you were sitting in a room with me or with any of the other coaches. Lock in, no distraction. Okay. I want you to be fully present. Like I talked about last week, be present. Because what I'm about to walk you through is not surface level. This is about building a foundation that you can stand on, that your business can stand on, and that your legacy can stand on. See, what most people fail to realize when they enter network marketing is that they did not join a product business first. Let me say that again one more time. What you fail to realize is that you did not join a network marketing business first, or a product business first, okay? They join a personal development system which is disguised as a business opportunity. And the faster that you understand, then the faster you begin to grow. Because the income that you are chasing is not directly tied to the product. It's not directly tied to the compensation plan. It's not even directly tied to the opportunity itself. It is tied to you, to who you become in the process of building it. And as a coach, and as coaches that are pouring this into you every single day, we're not just giving you information, team. What we're doing is we're starting to shape you. We're building you. We're stretching you. And also we're challenging every version of you that is not capable of sustaining success. So I don't think we are just here trying to talk and trying to build our side of the business. We're trying to get you prepared. We're shaping, we're giving you that information so that you can be shaped and ready to go. So let me say this. When you get on these calls, when you receive these daily education, you cannot treat it like an optional information, like optional information. You cannot treat it like something that you just listen to when you feel like it. You have to treat it like it was oxygen. Because without it, your growth slows down. Your belief begins to weaken and your consistency will disappear. So treat it like oxygen because without that, you can't live. And without this information, your business can't grow. Let me bring this into something that will shift your entire perspective. And if you really, really understand this, okay? There are people right now in your organization, in your company, and even in your personal circle who are hearing the exact same information that you are hearing right now. Because some of you may have some of your team members on here. I know I do. But understand this. They are on the same call, right? They're listening to the same coaches every day. They're receiving the same guidance. But yet their results are completely different from yours. And the difference is not because of intelligence. It's not because of talent. And it's sure not about luck. The difference is application. Because the separation in these business is not created by access to information. It is created by execution of information. So what I want you to begin to understand is that every single training call and every opportunity to close the gap between, every single call and every single training call is an opportunity to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But that gap only closes when you move. And movement is not thinking about what to do. It is not planning what to do. It is not talking about what to do. Movement is doing it. It is doing it. You have to apply it. You have to take it and go to work with it. And you got to do that immediately. Okay. Not next week, not tomorrow, not next month. You got to start doing that immediately. Let me slow this down a little bit. Every time that we as coaches speak, again, we are compressing years of experience into minutes. I didn't say weeks or months. We're actually giving you years of experience, and we turning that and put it into minute of instruction. We're actually giving you lessons that cost time, money. We have Coach Will spend $5,000, $10,000 to go take a course and come back and teaches it to us for free. That's money. It takes time. It takes our time to be on this call to teach you to not make the same mistake and the failures that we made, but also give you the time to grow, to give you that growth. We are actually handling your shortcuts. And those shortcuts can accelerate your result if you choose to use them. But here is where a lot of you disconnect. You hear the lesson, but you do not personalize the lesson. Let me say that again. You hear it. You hear the lesson, but you don't personalize it. You hear something powerful, but instead of asking yourselves how it applies to me or my current situation, you admire it and then you move on. Understand that admiration without implementation, that's the fastest way to stay stuck. So guys, from this point on, I want you, every time that you hear something from your coach, not just me, but from any of the coaches, I want you to mentally pause and ask yourself, where does this fit into my business right now? Right now. If we're talking about inviting, then you immediately think about who you need to invite to these calls. If we're talking about follow-up, you should be immediately thinking about who you need to follow up with. If we're talking about consistency, you should immediately evaluate your daily actions. Because training is not something that you listen to passively. It is something that you engage with actively. One of the biggest challenges is that people are waiting to feel ready. Did you wait to feel ready when you took your job? No, you jumped in it 2 feet deep and you started learning, you started applying what you were taught on the job training for those 2 weeks of your first 2 weeks on the job. But when it comes to this business or to your business, you want to wait till you feel ready. So you believe that at some point that you will feel confident enough, prepared enough, and knowledgeable enough to take action. But team, the truth is this: that moment never comes. Confidence is not something that you wait for. It is something that you build through action. You don't become confident and then act. You act and then becomes confident. Even in a dictionary, act comes before confident. So if you're waiting to feel ready before you start applying what you are learning here, you're delaying your growth. And every day that you delay is a day that your business don't move. You cannot separate learning from doing. It must happen together. Because when you learn without doing, you will start to forget. When you do without learning, you will start to plateau. So the power is this: combine both of them. You plug into the training, and then you immediately go into execution mode. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the perfect plan. You got to move. And as you move, you're going to start refining what you're doing. And as you refine it, you will improve. And if you improve, your results begin to show. I want to give you a real life breakdown, so that you can exactly see how it actually works. Imagine you get on a morning call or evening call or one of these Zooms, and your coach spends 30 minutes teaching you how to start conversations with a new prospect. They give you language, they give you posture, they give you example. Now, in that moment, you have two options. You can close the call, feel good about what you heard, and go about your day. Or you can close the same call and immediately reach out to 5, 10, 15 people using what you just learned. Those two decisions lead completely to different outcomes. One will lead to stagnation, the other will lead to growth. The question is, which one of those options will you take? And what you have to understand is that success is not built in big moments. It is built in these small decisions that you make daily. Daily. So let's go a little bit deeper. We want to talk about discipline, because discipline is basically the bridge that you have to cross to get between information and result. So you need discipline to be able to get from one side to the other. Because without discipline, information stays in your mind. But with discipline, information shows up in your actions. And discipline is not about doing things when you feel motivated, because there are going to be days, trust me, when you're tired. There are going to be days when you're not in the mood, days when things are not going your way. And those are the days that define your future, guys. Because if you can execute on those days, you separate yourself from everyone else. You separate yourself from everyone else. Leadership is the main thing, because it's where your business truly begins to expand. And at some point, it stopped being about just you. Because a lot of us, we only think about ourselves. It becomes about the people that are watching you, the people that are learning from you, the people that are duplicating what you're doing. But you see, this is the reality. Your team will not do what you say, but you know what they'll do? They will do what you do. So if you're not applying what you're learning daily, guess what? Your team not going to apply it either. But if they see you executing consistently, they will start following your examples. That is how duplication works. I don't know if everyone, if all of you on the call saw Coach Marcus' message that he put on Facebook the other day, and I think it was something from prior, not recently, but it said the person asked him, "How soon would I see duplication? How soon would I see a downline?" Exact words. How soon would I see a downline? If you're building your business, if you're working your business, you're going to see the duplication. You're going to see the downline. Don't sit around waiting for spillovers, because if you do that, it might not always work that way. Okay. So let's talk about momentum a little bit, because this is something that people either build or they destroy without really realizing it. Momentum is created through what? Consistent action. And team, if what I'm talking about, if what I'm going through right now, if it's getting to you and it's come and you're actually receiving the information, the message, put a one in the chat, because I want to know that people are actually listening and that they're understanding what I'm talking about. So if this is, if you're understanding what I'm talking about and it's making sense, put a one in the chat. Like I said, momentum is created by consistent action. It is not created through occasional efforts. It is not created through random bursts of activity. It is created by showing up every single day and doing what needs to be done. And when you have momentum, everything feels easier. Conversation will start to flow better. People will start to respond more. Your confidence will increase. But when you lose that momentum, then everything starts to feel harder, right? And most people lose momentum because they stop applying what they have learned. Some of you will take a day off, and then that day's off turn into another day and another day. And before you know it, you got to start over. So what you must commit to is protecting your momentum at all costs. You have to protect it at all costs. Because what we're building here is not just a business, guys. We're building a mindset, a standard. We're actually building a way of operating that does not change based on how you feel. Because feelings are inconsistent. But when you have standards, they are consistent. Your standards must be that every day, your standard must be that every day that you learn something and every day to apply something that you learn with no exceptions. If you have been in this business 30, 60, 90 days, or even longer, and you're not seeing the results that you want, believe me, team, it's not because the system does not work, because it does. It is because somewhere along the way, you stop applying consistency. Because if you are following this system that we have in place, it's one of the easiest systems I've ever seen when it comes to network marketing. And I've been in the industry ever since I was 20 years old. That's 45 years now. This is the easiest system I've ever come across when it comes to network marketing. And if you apply it, it will work. So now as we continue to go deeper into this training, I want you to make a mental shift. Okay? You're no longer someone who attends the call. I want you to think as someone who executes what you learn on this call, not someone who just attend these calls. You're extracting what you need and then you move. You hear something valuable and then you act. When you receive the instruction, you implement that instruction. Because this is what separates those who stay stuck from those who grow. And if you look at the team, if you look at this team, you're going to see growth. If you look back 2 or 3 years and watch Mary and where she came from and watch where she is at today, you've seen growth. If you look back and see Jessica Hill, where she started, and look at where she's at today, not just by herself, but with her husband, growth. Okay? But the reason that happened is because they applied what they learned. And team, we're not done. We're not done because now we're going to even get deeper into identity, behavior, and long-term sustainability. How you take the daily application and turn it into a lifestyle that produces results over and over again without you having to rely and motivation. And as we move into this next phase, I want you to lock in even more. Please lock in more because now we're not just talking about what to do. We're going to be talking about who you must become to make this permanent. Okay? You got to stay locked in because I'm telling you now, we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go a little bit deeper into this part of most people never fully grasp. And this is where the real separation happens. See, up to this point, where I've been talking about applying what you learn, executing daily building discipline, and protecting momentum. But now we're going to need to elevate this into identity. Because if this does not become who you are, then it will always feel like something that you're trying to do. And anything that feels temporary would eventually stop. Because if you're just trying, you're going to stop because that's temporary. So what I want you to understand right here is this. Success in network marketing is not built on occasional actions. It's built on identity-driven behavior. And that means that you don't wake up and ask yourself if you feel like working your business today. You wake up and you move because that's who you are. You are someone who applies. You are someone who executes. You are someone who does not let information just sit. You convert it into movement immediately. And this is where daily coaching that we're giving you becomes even more powerful. Because every time that you plug into the training, you're reinforcing a new identity. And there should be no excuse because we have said we have training Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Daily training to keep your mind going, to keep your mindset up, to keep your identity up. You're not just hearing what to do. You're being reminded of who you are becoming. And if you listen at that level, guys, you will start to notice something. You will start to notice the way that you think will begin to change. The way you respond will begin to change. The way you approach your business will begin to change. And that shift is what creates long-term success. See, most people treat network marketing like activity that they squeeze into their day, They do it when what? they have time. They do it when they what? Feel like it, when everything else is handled. But the coaches and the people who win in this business, we treat it like a responsibility tied to our future. See, we don't negotiate with our business. We don't delay it. We don't push it off to the side. We build our business daily around it, around even if we're working a job. Coach Marcus can tell you that until last September. He had a full-time job and he built his business to where his business was generating more income than his job was generating him. Now he's a seven-figure income earner. See, we don't negotiate, like I said, with our business. Okay? And we don't do that because we understand something most people ignore. And if you don't prioritize your future, your present will start to consume you. So daily education is not just about learning how to build a business. It's about training your mind to prioritize what matters most, even when it's inconvenient to you. So now as we move forward, I want to bring you into a concept of decision making because this is directly connected to your ability to apply what you learn. So every single day that you're making decisions that either move your business forward or keep it exactly where it is. And most of these decisions are not big. They're small ones. They're quiet, sometimes almost invisible decisions that you make without even thinking. The decision to reach out to one more person or the decision to stop. The decision to follow up or wait. A decision to post or overthink it. A decision to act now or delay it. And what you must understand is that your future is not built on one major decision. It is built on thousands of small decisions made consistently over time. So when we are teaching you, we're not just giving you information, like I said earlier. We are influencing your decision-making process. We are helping you to make better choices faster. And the faster you can make aligned decisions, the faster your business will grow. Another problem is that we have emotional inconsistency when it comes to building your business. See, people, there are going to be days when you feel unstoppable. Everything is going to be flowing. Your energy, your high, your confidence, it's going to be strong. And you will feel like nothing can slow you down. But then again, there are also days when you feel off, when things are not clicking, when people are not responding, when doubt tries to keep you from going out and building your business. And if your actions are tied to your emotions, your business will always be unstable. So what this daily coaching does is it stabilizes you. It gives you the consistent source of perspective. It also reminds you that what you're feeling is temporary, but what you're building is long-term. Because your feeling gonna go away. Your feeling changes just like a mood, it changes. But what you're building is for after you're gone, your legacy. And if you lean into that, you'll begin to operate from discipline instead of emotion. Now, this right here is critical. If you want to build something that lasts and that is resilience, because no matter how much training you receive, no matter how much education you get, you are going to face a rejection. You're going to hear no's. You're going to have people who ignore you, people who doubt you, people who do not see what you see. And if you're not mentally prepared for that, it will slow you down. So remember what I said a couple weeks ago on the call. When they tell you no, when they ignore you, when they have doubt in you, don't get offended by it. Tell yourself those are the people that will not reach success with me. You got to be mentally prepared for that, guys. See, here's what your coaches are really doing when we train you daily. We are building your resilience before you even need it. We are strengthening your mindset so that when challenges come, you're not surprised by them, but you are prepared for them. So when someone says no, you don't take it personally. You stay in the motion. When someone ignores your message, you don't stop. You keep reaching out. When things start to slow down, you don't panic. You start to increase your activity. That is what application looks like at a higher level, guys. Now let's go into something more powerful, and that is actually awareness. Because once you begin to apply what you are learning consistently, you will start to see opportunities everywhere. Conversations will open up naturally. Situations will present themselves. People will start asking you questions. People will start calling you and asking you for advice on products, what to take, how to feel better, how to make more money. And if you're passive, you will miss these moments. But if you're intentional, then you'll see them. And this is where daily education sharpens you because it keeps your mind focused on what you're building. It keeps your awareness high. It keeps you ready. Okay. When you're applying what you learn daily, you're not just building your business, you're actually creating a model that others on your team can start to follow. Your team needs to see what you're need to see what it looks like to execute. And if you're not out there executing, what you think your team going to do? How many times have we heard Coach Will say, "What will my business look like, or what will my team look like if they did today what I did? What will my income look like today if my team did today what I did?" You think he just say that just to say it off this man so he can sound good? No, this is from experience, years of experience. And if your team is seeing you working and going out there and building and executing, what you think your team will want to do? Because they want to make the same kind of money you're making or more. But if you're not doing anything, sometimes they'll leave you and go find somebody else that is. Because they need to see consistency in real time. They need to see someone who is not just talking about the training, but actually living it. And when they see that, it gives them permission to do the same. That is how culture is built. That is how momentum spreads. That is how organizations start to grow beyond just a few individuals. So I want you to really sit with this next concept because this is where everything starts to come together. See, there's a difference between being involved and being committed. Being involved just means that you show up when it is convenient. Being committed means that you show up no matter what. Being involved means you listen to training, but being committed means that you start to apply that training. Being involved means that you try. Being committed means that you do it. And success is the business. In this business, does not respond to environment. It responds to commitment. So the question you have to ask yourself, not whether you are present in this, uh, it is whether you are committed, because that answer determines everything. It determines everything. So let's go into our daily rhythm. And we can do this because repetition is what locks this in. You wake up, you plug in training, and you extract what you need. You identify one or two things that you can apply immediately. And then you move. You reach out. You follow up. You create exposure. You stay consistent. And at the end of that day, you evaluate yourself how your day went. Not based on how you felt, but based on what you did. And then you repeat that process again the next day. That is how you turn days into weeks, weeks into months, and months into results. I want you to shift your focus into long-term vision, guys. Because if you do not have a clear vision of where you are going, it's going to be difficult and very difficult to stay consistent when things get challenging to you. As coaches, we're not just teaching you for today, we're preparing you for where you're going. We're helping you build something that can grow beyond your current situation. And saying that, y'all know that I always say, we got to stop making excuses and turn those excuses into a reason why we need to change our current situation. So every time that you feel resistance, every time that you feel like slowing down, you have to reconnect with your vision. And for right now, our vision are those 20 reasons why you said yes to this business and your top 4 goals. So every time that you feel resistance, go back and read those 20 reasons. Go back and read your top 4 goals. And those reasons and those goals should be changing constantly because you should be achieving some of those reasons. You should be achieving some of your goals. You have to remind yourself why you started, guys. You have to remind yourself what you are building. Because when your vision is strong, your action becomes easier. It becomes easier for you to do. And at this point, what you should be feeling is clarity. And that's clarity that you already have access to everything that you need. Clarity that training you receive daily is enough. Clarity that your results are directly tied to your application. But most of all, clarity that from this point forward, your responsibility is simple. And that is learn, apply, repeat. Learn, apply, repeat. Thank you, guys. Back to you, Mary.
Wow. Everyone, please give Coach Seymour some love in the chat. So much that he talked about today resonated with me as far as what I've been going through lately. And he is 100% spot on about everything. about every single thing. One of the things I want to touch on, and thank you so much again, Coach Seymour, for all that you do for us.
You're welcome.
Just absolutely amazing.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Momentum is created through consistent action. Um, I'm actually seeing that, even though it's taking time for my team to build. I'm still seeing it because I've created a pipeline of people coming in. Like I said, they go in this direction, they go in that direction. I'm able to sift and sort where they're going, and people are constantly coming in. I've got people answering messages from last week. People, popping in. It's always now constant action, and I love it. And that only is coming through deciding, making that commitment, and consistent action, and applying everything that I'm learning, whether it's daily, when I'm um prospecting, out prospecting and talking to people, asking Chat GPT, hey, what do you think about this? Or whatever. I'm asking Chat GPT less now because I it's repetition is the mother of learning. I'm hearing it so much that I know what to do now. In some cases, not all, but I've got to what y'all have, 30 years up on me. I got to catch up. But I appreciate the nuggets that you give us because I don't have, only God knows if I have another 30 years, here. And if you all are not taking this information seriously, please do. Please, please do. So, so amazing. Coach Marcus is on the call. Coach Marcus, do you have anything you'd like to add um, to tonight's call?
Hey, Miriam. Hey, Coach Seymour. Awesome teaching tonight. I have nothing to add. You guys did an amazing teaching tonight. Appreciate you guys. Hey, we'll be back here tomorrow night for Franchise Factor. It'll be part three, same time and on the same Zoom link on Wednesday night. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of these Zooms and use these as tools also to grow your teams. You can, especially on Thursdays and Mondays. Monday nights are probably my favorite, probably my favorite night because we never know who is going to share and what's going to be shared. But if you heard Coach Seymour's testimony last night about how a few months ago he had a blockage in his arteries, and so he doubled up on using a couple products and goes back this weekend, has some things going on. They checked his heart, no blockage. And so they had anticipated having to go in and insert stents into his arteries a few months ago. That was the plan. Well, just hearing that testimonial last night, it just reinforced my belief in the products. And I think a lot of people who should be on those Zooms on Monday aren't there. It's always the same people, and it's primarily all consultants are there. There's hardly ever any guests, other than when Tiara has a guest come, from people she knows, but very rarely does anyone have any guests on there. So it's like we're preaching to the to the to the crowd who has the information when we should be inviting people and getting people who aren't part of the company on these Zooms, especially on Mondays and Thursdays. All right, so that's a challenge for you guys to do whatever you needed to do to get your guests and get your team members to get on these Zooms so they can get the information and you can also see your teams grow and put in work like Merriam has been doing behind the scenes. She has a lot of conversations and like I'm like her. Some people are going to take it and run with it. Some people aren't. And the people that take it and run with it, those are the people you want to give your attention to. Everyone else, you just plug them into the information, just share information. If they grasp it and do it, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. Don't take it personal. But good teaching tonight. Appreciate you guys. I know Coach Will's busy. He's preparing to go to his axe throwing championship competition on Thursday. I believe is when it starts. So otherwise, thank you, Miriam. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And you guys, you can, whoever wants to close it out, you can close it out. And I will see you guys tomorrow night.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much, Coach Marcus, for all that you do for us and for all your wisdom in this amazing industry. I appreciate you so much, as we all do. So that's it for tonight. Thank you all so much for attending. And hopefully the recording will be up soon so that you can share this with your team members. I do have a guest on tonight. Her name is Eman. So welcome. I hope that this was impactful for you tonight. But everyone else, have an amazing, amazing Tuesday, amazing evening, and take care.